Well, my start with the paranormal is not your typical start. I owe it all to my still living grandmother. She would babysit my sister and I when we were little. And she would tell these great stories, folklore from the old country. And whether it was vampires or witches or curses or the restless dead, or someone knocks at your door and asks for bread and you better give it to them because it's the Virgin Mary in disguise. All the stories had some kind of like thread, some kind of continuity. And I wanted to know what that meant. As a kid, I didn't know the word occult. I didn't know about that mystical hidden word. So I would go to the library and try and find what ties all these things together. And eventually I hit on the word and it sunk home. And I knew that I had to find these answers. I think when you finally realize what magic is, that's when it becomes truly amazing to you. When it's not just about the words. When you realize that if you say a line wrong, a demon isn't going to carry you off to some hellish nether realm. When you realize that magic is all about creating a state of mind through psychodrama and getting everything just right so you can access that consciousness that you don't have when you're awake normally. Now, tourists come in and rather than buy a book on magic sometimes, they'll buy one of these and they'll want quick results. And the funny thing is, this is a fast way to get quick results. And I'll tell you why. Not necessarily because these candles will do anything on their own or the oil will do anything on its own. However, what happens is you go into a place and you get swept up in the moment. You meet someone there who has a very mystical bearing. And they're the store owner and sometimes they're characters. And you go in and you see this person who is so obviously connected and so obviously believes this truly and gets results on a regular basis, witness the clientele that keep coming back. And you have this set up situation. So you walk in and automatically your belief level goes up a lot and your state of mind changes. You're in a place that's other, that's not being at your local subway station. You're somewhere different. And when this person who is the gatekeeper to the different realm hands you one of these and tells you all you have to do is say the lines and use the components, it'll work, you believe it, and then you take it back and you go from cooking in your kitchen to going to your living room and lighting these candles and saying these words and dimming the natural lighting in the room. And all of a sudden the smells hit you and the sounds hypnotize your mind. Sometimes they're barbarous words, the words that don't even seem to make sense, but because they don't make sense, it's something that carries you elsewhere. So once it's done, the magic has worked, essentially. Your mind has been told, time to activate that hidden part and time to make the change that I've been asking for.
Okay, now give me a much
major who had to do the calculus part. I believe aliens absolutely have to exist somewhere. Just if you do the equation, the famous Drake's equation. If you multiply the fact that there's 100 million suns in our galaxy and 100 million galaxies, the odds of finding a planet just the right distance, and right now we're finding planets everywhere using our new extrasolar planet finding capabilities. There has to be life there. However, the distances are pretty vast, and the likelihood that these aliens are coming here and regularly, I'm not sure I buy that. I think that alien abduction a lot of times closely mimics experiences that people had way before they believed in aliens. The idea of an other, some kind of being appearing and taking you and sort of like stopping time. That's appeared in even supposed less ominous circumstances. You'll find certain characteristics even when there's like a sighting of the Virgin Mary. You'll see that same kind of experience, that feeling that something has taken you. One thing about tarot cards that no one really knows is you're not supposed to memorize the meanings and look at them and say, strife, agony. It doesn't really get you anywhere. One of the best things you could do is to let your mind sort of sink into the card and scry it, and these pictures will actually move. They'll come to life for you, just like as if you were looking in a crystal ball. So sometimes you'll be doing a reading with a card like this and you'll focus on one of the faces that a person's making and say, did someone say something to you? Because it'll come to you, you'll almost hear it. And that almost has nothing to do with the meaning of the card anymore, and it becomes that extra added layer. So if someone doesn't do that, a reading becomes very much, you are kind and caring.